I built a micro-SaaS that makes $350,000 a month with my brother. Neither of us is a developer, and it was completely bootstrapped. And in this video, I will take you through 5 lessons that I learned through this process that allowed us to actually succeed. In our first month of launching, we reached $3,000. By the 4th month, we were already at $20,000 a month after 4 months. So we grew really fast and we became profitable within a month or 2. And developing and launching the first version of the app only took about 3 to 4 months. The SaaS product that we built was a Shopify app called Reconvert. You can still find it on the Shopify App Store. It allows Shopify merchants to add upselling and cross-selling to their store very easily with a few simple clicks. And that takes me directly to the first lesson. And the first lesson is build a micro-SaaS. Building a micro-SaaS is possibly the biggest hack that any first-time founder or bootstrapper could use. When you build a micro-SaaS, you basically build something on top of a bigger SaaS. And this gives you so many benefits for a first-time founder that just help you succeed way quicker and lowers the risk a lot between if you do that or build something completely new for yourself. For example, a Shopify app, a Slack add-on, a Figma add-on, even a mobile app that you install on your Android or iPhone could be considered a micro-SaaS. Now, what are the main advantages? First, it's usually easier to get this to be lean. It's something that you build on top of an existing thing. You don't need everything from scratch. You can build just the things that you need, and that makes it leaner, and the investment of building it is lower because of that. Launching it is easier. You have an app store that you can put your app on and then just get installs from day one. That's what happened to us with Reconvert. We just put it on the Shopify App Store and started getting installs, and the app was good, so people stayed mostly. And lastly, trust. When you create something completely new, no one knows you, no one knows who you are. Why would they give you their credit card details? Why would they install whatever app you created? If you put your product on an app store that they trust, then it's really easy for them to just be like, okay, yeah, Shopify verified them, I guess they're good, and then install you. And you can actually get installs much quicker, and customer acquisition just becomes so much faster and easier when we're talking about micro-SaaS. And when you're a beginner founder or bootstrapping and don't have a lot of either experience or resources, you really want to go for these easy wins that can generate revenue and you can actually use to grow your existing product or maybe build something else later on. The second lesson is to launch fast and launch imperfectly. Perfection is the enemy of execution. This is something that I have to remind myself constantly. But if you try to get your very first version, your MVP, to be perfect, you will never launch. A, because perfection doesn't exist, and B, because you don't have the resources to go anywhere even near perfect. Let's look at some examples, okay? Your design is going to be a little bit broken and not optimized because you don't have a UI UX designer yet. Your product is going to have some bugs by design. Some features are going to be missing from your specification because you don't have a product manager yet, so you're doing it yourself. And unless you have experience being a product manager, you're going to make mistakes. Your app is going to have some bugs that are not by design, just code bugs that you are going to miss because you don't have a QA yet. So you are testing everything yourself, and of course you're going to miss some things. We're all human, not QAs, they're not human, they're robots.
Oh, wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Now, I'm kidding for the QAs out there who might be offended. But the point is, it's only you. You only have you, maybe you have a partner, but it's not a full-on team that checks every little thing about your app. But the good news are, you don't need that. When we launched Reconvert, we had so many bugs. We had some customers essentially doing QA for us. Eric and I spent the first few months just replying to support in our live chat support. And we found new bugs, feature requests, issues, things that weren't working properly that we just fixed. The secret here is to be very available, very compassionate, and fix things as fast as possible. Nothing that you launch is going to be perfect. You shouldn't aspire to be perfect because you will never launch if you do. Ask any perfectionist out there who hasn't been able to overcome this. They haven't launched anything because nothing is ever perfect. So you have to let that idea of being perfect go and launch something with problems, imperfect, and fix things first. As a little caveat, when you launch something that is imperfect, it's an excuse for your customers to reach out to you. They reach out, you talk to them, you learn a little bit more about what they need, you fix it fast, and you also maybe ask for a review in Trustpilot or the App Store or wherever it is your SaaS exists in. So remember, you want to launch imperfectly and you want to fix things very quickly. Guys, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It helps us so much to know what you want to watch and for YouTube to know that this is good content that it should suggest to other people. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss the next videos we publish every single week. And lastly, please leave us a comment down below. You can comment whatever you want. If you're enjoying the video, if you have any question or comment of your own, or if you have nothing else to say, just put a sun emoji in because everyone loves the sun. Thank you for watching. Let's continue. Lesson number 3 is to copy what other people are doing. If you are chasing the most original idea that no one has ever done before, you're not going to find it. I mean, 1 in a million might find it, but the internet is pretty well established by now, and a lot of things have been done already. The secret is not to find something that no one has ever thought about before, but to focus on solving a problem in a new way. So, for example, when we launched Reconvert, there were already apps that did post-purchase upselling on Shopify. There was also one single app that did thank you page optimization. So we didn't invent anything. What we did do is something different. We looked at the thank you page optimization, we looked at the post-purchase upselling and just combined them together to something new. So that wasn't a new concept. It was just a new way to solve an existing problem. And that's really what you want to focus on. It's pretty much standard by now that when you are building something new, you look at what other people are doing and you improve on that and you change on it. If you do exactly what they're doing, then you're not really bringing anything new to the table. Some customers might install you, but mostly people have no reason to go with you than with the original. So either the prices need to be better, either the marketing, or just something needs to be different or better about your product than the existing one. But the main point is don't be afraid to look outside, see what others are doing, and copy some parts while renovating and improving and bringing your own. Some customers might, and truly brings me to the 4th lesson, which is competition is good. It's good for you. Don't be afraid of some competition. There's a lot of talk out there about building your SaaS in a blue ocean, meaning a clean ocean, one that doesn't have so many competitors that you don't have to swim between sharks that have already turned the water red. And that is a good principle to follow, but I think it sometimes get a little bit lost in translation. A blue ocean doesn't mean that you have 0 competitors. If there are no competitors doing what you're planning on doing, that's actually a major, not red, but yellow flag. Because why are there no competitors? Is it because you're a genius and no one thought about it before? Or is it because there are some technical constraints that make it impossible? Or no one wants that? That's a major yellow flag that you will have to check into and make sure that you're not getting into something that no one wants. So competitors are not a bad thing. They're actually a signal to you that there is interest in the solution that you're trying to create. Especially, again, as a first-time founder who doesn't have a lot of experience or resources, and maybe you can't really do a complete validation of the idea, full-on market research. That takes a lot of time and resources. So instead, you can look at competitors and figure out that A, there's a need for it, and B, what are people complaining about? How can I improve it? Competitors are an amazing tool for you to learn what your customers want or don't want. I will say that there is some sort of a sweet spot of the amount of competitors. If you are looking to build, let's say, a Shopify app for reviews, there are so many reviews apps on Shopify, and a lot of them are really big and established. They have a brand, they have so many features that they've been building for almost a decade. It's going to be very difficult to compete with them. So I wouldn't recommend you build a Shopify reviews app unless there's something new that you're bringing to the table and you have a very clear vision of why this new thing is a game changer for your customers. So I do think that the concept of a blue ocean is good, but a blue ocean just doesn't mean 0 competition. It means that there is a competition at a level that you could compete with, or that you have something completely new that is like creating your own blue ocean, basically. That's what we did with FreeConvert. We created our own blue ocean. Like I said in lesson number 3, we took post-purchase upselling apps and thank you page optimization and combined them together. We took what was missing from both solutions and created something new, and that essentially created a blue ocean for us because no one else was doing what we were doing back then. We were missing some essential things that they were doing because we just couldn't with the solution we chose, and they were missing some essential things that we were doing because they couldn't with the solution that they chose. And that way, we each fit a different segment of the customers. Nowadays, the map is completely different and there's a lot more competition on the upselling and thank you page optimization niche. But I'm talking about 2018 here. So lesson number 5, I think is going to upset some people. It might trigger some people. I think it's a little controversial and it kind of contradicts a lot of the advice that I have personally heard online. And that is, a CTO founder is a great thing, but it's not a must. Yeah, it's better to have a CTO founder. Of course it is. Someone who understands the tech, who can build the code and manage the servers and do everything that needs to be done in the beginning by someone technical. But you don't have to have them. That was one of the main roadblocks that I kept hearing about. Because if you're building a technical product, you need a technical founder. You just can't create a technical product without a technical founder. That's false. Both me and Eric are not technical founders. We don't write code, and maybe I have a little bit of a technical past with servers, but completely different technologies from the things that we're doing right now. And yet, we managed to build a company that runs and operates pretty nicely. Are there prices to pay? Sure there are. What we did is we found developers on Upwork, and we started off with one developer and it slowly grew. And we found someone who was within our budget, who had experience with Shopify and developed Shopify apps before and was willing to work for us, and we felt like we trusted him. And we built this product together with this developer. There are some things that you do need to know when you work with developers when you don't have a CTO essentially and you're bringing in a developer. There are some really important things that you should know, because I've seen founders, non-technical founders, who get their code stolen, who completely get scammed, and there are easy solutions for you to avoid something like that happen to you. If you're interested in me making a video talking specifically about that, let me know in the comments and I would gladly do that. We've learned a lot of things over the years. So other than being scammed, what are the risks of getting a developer who is not a CTO, who is an external developer? First is the fact that you have to spend money on it. You can't just let your CTO write the code for free. You have to actually spend money and get money from somewhere. For us, it cost about $25,000 the initial development. It never stopped because the moment we saw money coming in, we continued investing in the product. But the initial MVP was about $20,000 to $25,000. It's not a huge amount of money. It's something that you can probably do without raising capital, but we did take some loans and it was a bit of a risk. The second risk is that you might have technical issues down the line. Because if you are not, let's call it tech literate, then you just don't know. You have these words, like we told our developer in the beginning, make this scalable and the code reusable and efficient and fast and blah, blah, blah. And we didn't really know how to check that he was doing that. The app worked. Okay, fine, cool. We just didn't have the tools. We still don't have the tools, but now we have a really good CTO. So we're good. But what happened was that the app worked for about a year or two, and then it started growing a little too much. There were too many customers and the app started crashing. There's a vivid memory in my head of a specific occasion. I was in Universal Studios Orlando, and instead of going on the Green Hulk roller coaster like I wanted to, I found the nearest Starbucks with Wi-Fi and was on a 2-hour call with our developers and DevOps trying to get the app back up. It used to crash so much back then, and each time it crashed, it took a while to get it back up. And it was terrible. It was terrible on so many levels. It's not good for the brand, it's not good for your customers, it's not good for monetization, and it's also not good for your own personal level of stress. Trust me, from experience. That being said, it was totally worth it. These down the line problems of having now to find someone who's going to help us optimize the code or optimize our servers or the database so that we can actually handle the scale, that's a good problem to have. I would much rather have that problem than the problem of, oh, I need to pay a super expensive developer now and I don't have the money, and so I'm not just not going to build anything and just going to stay in my job. Because these were the options, and I'm very happy that I chose the option of just rolling with it and improving later. Trust me, once you are in there and you have this company that is operating this product that is making you money and giving you freedom. I'm in Greece in an Airbnb, I'm not at home, and I'm filming this and I'm having fun, and I can allow myself to be here for almost 3 weeks because nothing's tying me back to my country. I can just, walk on the computer, and that's amazing freedom that, quite honestly, I never had before. And I appreciate that so much, that the problems that we had to go through to get here are worth it. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of choosing the wrong developers or, launching something with bugs or anything like that. Is it stressful? Yes, it's stressful. I'm not gonna lie to you. Is it worth it? In my opinion, yes. If you think it's not, then maybe that's not the route for you and you shouldn't build a SaaS business or any business, because any business contains its own stressors. But that's a conversation for another day. So if you do want to know how we find amazing developers, we've perfected the process throughout the years. We do have some videos about that. I'm going to link them here or at the description. I'm going to try to remember that. If I don't, please let me know in the comments and I will add the link so that you can watch the video. It's a video that Eric did that is great.